If you are trying to figure out if the new Rosy Glow blushes are actually worth it, keep on watching. I have been quickly testing these out. I haven't really gotten a whole lot of thoughts, but let me tell you my initial thoughts. So first, I have the original pink Rosy Glow blush. Now, I'm going to quickly show you how this goes on. It is, honestly, in the pan, it looks like it's going to be a pretty color. When you swatch it, this is one of the things with this blush, is it swatches so badly. Like, even that doesn't really give an accurate representation of how this stuff swatches. But I don't know if you can tell, I have actually used it quite a bit because, weirdly enough, although it swatches so badly, I do kind of like the formula of it. So let's talk about the blush in general. First of all, it is way too expensive. No one needs to spend, I think, $49 on a blush. That's just crazy. I don't think it needs to happen. Now, that being said, I think that this blush definitely has some pros and cons. Also, if you're interested in seeing more content like this, where I talk about makeup, hair, skin, nails, and all of that from a professional cosmetology standpoint, make sure you like and subscribe because this is the kind of content I put out. Let's go in with this blush. We're just going to put it on one side. Now, I'm really dipping in here because sometimes people have said that you can't really use this if you're a darker skin tone. That's semi-true and semi-not true. So this is just one swipe of that. Like, you can tell there is a little bit of glow. It's not crazy, but there is a little bit. We're gonna see what happens when I mix these two colors, because I'm thinking that they're gonna be the perfect blend, because this one almost is a little bit too much for me. Like, I think it's pretty, but honestly, it feels like it's going to be a little bit difficult. So we're gonna go in with both of these. Ooh, I do love that that's not quite hot pink. Granted, this is still a blush formula that you have to kind of build up. Even when I used the purple one, when I got a little bit crazy, that was after I had gone in a few different times. Ooh, I like that. Okay, final thoughts. I do like this color. Also, ignore the fact that I have like random freckling. This product is really blurring. I think that it's beautiful. It seems to go on really well, and it's an easy formula to work with. That being said, do I think it's actually worth it? Well, no. Yes and no, I should say. I am very much of the opinion that you should do what makes you feel beautiful and makes you feel special. And if makeup is one of the things that do that, I don't think you should rule it out. However, $48 for each of these, and if I just dropped that and ruined it, I'm gonna be pissed. But $48 for these two blushes, don't know if that's worth it. Like I said, do what makes you feel beautiful, do what makes you feel happy. There are definitely blushes that perform just as well in the high-end category, and in the luxury category, I have yet to find a blush that does the same blurring that this does in the drugstore category. Tell me if you think I'm wrong, but there are very good blushes for a cheaper price. So, should you buy these? I think that's a very hard question for me to answer for you. For me, honestly, I love makeup enough that I'm going to end up using them because I want to experiment with all the makeup and see what people are talking about and why they like it, why I do or don't like it. I will say, I do like this blush. I liked the original too. Now, the original, you have to build it up, especially on like my skin tone. Like, I have to just, you know, keep going in with it. I have found too, like, I've had this one for a little while. I mean, like, you can't even really see the embossment on it anymore. There's a little bit of it left. I've definitely found that as the embossment has disappeared, it has been easier to apply. The embossment is still on this top one, so maybe it'll be a little bit easier to use. I think that my go-to is probably actually going to be mixing these, which definitely isn't worth the price. I think that if you're buying it because it's luxury makeup and you want that experience, great, do that. But I think if you're buying it because you've heard it's the best blush out there, don't do that. That's just silly. There are so many good blushes. But if you're doing it because you've heard it's the best blush out there, there are so many good options. The Wet n Wild Color Icon is beautiful. So is the Burt's Bees blush. And this one doesn't get enough love, I feel. The Milani Baked blush, everybody always talks about, but they are very pretty. These ones are super hyped, but they're hyped for a reason. The Tarte Clay blushes are beautiful, super long wearing, totally worth the price. So don't buy the blush because you feel like it is the best blush ever. There are a lot of blushes that I think are beautiful, but if you're buying the blushes because you're like, I feel like it's gonna be fun to have that, it's like a status symbol for me, it makes me feel beautiful, then do it. I say do what makes you feel good about yourself, because there's not enough that does make us feel good about ourselves in this day and age. And if this is gonna help you do it, do it. And this is also, I mean, like, for my dark skinned girlies, this can be really pretty. Like I said, I did mix this one with the pink one, but just by itself, super pretty too. Let me just recap and show you. So this is just the purple, the berry tone I just put over top, but it is a very pretty color. And it's meant to be more of that like cool toned pink for the darker girls. So do it. Do what makes you feel happy. Use this if that's what that is. It's very pretty. When I build this up too much, it's a lot, but just by itself, very pretty. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more information. I'm not saying buy it, but I'm also not saying don't. I feel like people try too often to put makeup into categories. Like, this is good, this is bad. And I think that yes, maybe some things don't work for certain people. Like, if we're talking about blush, one immediate example that comes to my head is the Cloud Blurring blush. That doesn't work for me, and it's because it doesn't work for me. It's not because because it's a bad product. I don't know, but I know that it doesn't work for my skin and my skin's needs. So I try not to dismiss a product just because it doesn't work for me, but I think that this is a win, especially considering they are putting out blushes. Dior is finally putting out blushes for us. So I did want to try it, but part of the reason is because I had already tried this and I do like the formula. I think it's beautiful. Like I said, blurs everything. This side has like a bit more of some stuff coming through, but that's because I tried to retouch my makeup there. But it is beautiful, so take that with what you may.